Shidduchim podcast.
Oh, really?
Like a sound. No, I can't
My
laugh.
father doesn't have a laugh.
Yeah, no.
It's weird.
I don't have a laugh.
Interesting.
By the way, that might go off, and I'm just going to jump up.
Should have taken a
and
few
just,
shots beforehand. Okay.
We'll take him after. You know?
Okay.
Be like very sweaty and everything.
Could you answer like in the beginning of the first?
Nobody talks, nobody talks, nobody talks Shidduchim. This is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.
What's up, everybody? IJ and Avery are here. Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. We are at episode number 59. 59, ladies and gentlemen. Lakewood Gals Talk. I'm here with the one and only IJ Avery. Everyone, give their applause for Avery. And we have actually we have two Lakewood chicas here. Michal, hello.
Hi.
And Tami.
Welcome.
And Avery's also here.
You mentioned me twice now.
I know, but I forgot to do this.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Avery's here.
I get double mention.
Wait, which one's this one? Okay, anyway. Lakewood Gals Tack. So on this tack, sorry, I'm learning dialect, so I'm
Yes.
whatever.
His
Boston
phonetics are a little
accent.
behind.
Your time.
So in this episode, Avery and I are here. We're going to discuss with Michal and Tami, two daters that reside in Lakewood and have experience going through their own Shidduch process, and they can discuss what it's like to be daters in Lakewood. I guess like it's its own town, but it's out of town. You know, it's interesting. We'll get into that, and we're going to take a back seat, listen to what they have to say. I'm sure, Avery will have plenty of complaints at some point. So we're going to be right back after these brief messages. So now we usually play the messages, I pay for updates.
Can I ask one question? Can I make that's what she said jokes or not appropriate?
Yeah,
go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, episode 59, Lakewood Gals Tack. Avery, take it away.
Okay, Lakewood girls talk. Or we do their taxes, I guess. That's what IJ's trying to say. I don't know. But
I'm taking a dialect class.
Yeah.
So
Oh
I'm
my
learning
gosh.
American dialect.
we want to learn a little bit about what it's like to date in Lakewood. Lakewood's when I think Lakewood, I'm from the Five Towns. That's where I live. That's where I was born. I wasn't born in the Five Towns, born in Queens, but I live in the Five Towns. I understand this community. I understand the Shadchanim here, right? And for the most part, when people see me, they think, okay, he can fit into that community. He can fit into the Five Towns. He can fit into even a little bit of Brooklyn, maybe out of town. Like you give off a certain impression based off of where you're from. You guys, are from Lakewood. And when you're having a conversation with Shadchanim or just friends or meeting people for the first time, it must be a little bit weird to say oh, you're from Lakewood. And yeah, you're not looking for someone who's learning and you're not looking for someone who's, going to sit and then wants to be a Rebbe or be in Kollel. So, maybe Michal, you could tell me a little bit about what that first impression usually is like.
Okay.
And,
So I'm going to actually start off by saying that I know I'm on the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, but I actually didn't really make my rounds with Shadchanim. I have spoken to Shadchanim, but the way I've been doing things for the past year and a half is kind of like people who know me personally were setting me up. And I actually really like it like that because it's way more intimate, more personal, people that know me, not just, doing it because it's their job. But even so, even without having been involved with Shadchanim too much, I do feel like I have a very decent amount of experience when it comes to the whole dating scene in Lakewood. In general, when people always think I'm from Brooklyn, from New York for some reason.
I wonder why. Why do you think that?
I have no idea. But
Well, that's interesting, though, because I can tell you, I think in some ways, Lakewood is a new community, quote unquote, because everyone going in Lakewood has been doing the BMG system, right? And now, we've been seeing for a few years of dating, there are girls who don't. So it's becoming more prevalent. So that's
Definitely.
you know.
I feel like a lot of people, like when I went to seminary, I went to Ma'ar. So a lot of people, I feel like they were like, oh my gosh, you're from Lakewood? And I'm like, why are you shocked? We're already in 2019. Like, Lakewood is not just BMG and like the four walls of that building. I mean, it's gotten a lot more diverse. And like myself and Tommy, we're actually both in like a close-knit friend group. Like we have like our chill places and like our people. Like it really is not what it used to be. I don't at all feel like I'm so like confined and everything like restricted in Lakewood, but it is like people are still shocked. Like then they think like, oh, let me like rearrange my brain, like she's from Lakewood but she's not Lakewood type, how do we go about this? So I guess kind of like that.
Tommy, same with you.
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn.
People,
so it's a little bit
so
different.
They do the
and then I
same
moved
thing.
to
They're
Tom's
like, you're
River.
from New York also.
So
Okay,
you know,
so
like when I tell people,
you are from New York. That's the difference.
Yeah, I'm from New York now. I live in Tom's River, and like when people ask me where do I live, I say Tom's River, and they're like, oh, it's the same as Lakewood. I'm like, no, not really. Like it's different.
It is different.
It is different, yeah. But like even like Lakewood is not what it used to be. So the answer of saying, "Oh, it's just like Lakewood," that's you know.
How is it changing? Well, it's getting a lot bigger.
Yeah, I mean in size, but population is different than it was. I think 5-10 years ago. I think Michal can.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I mean, Tom's River, the way I look at it, is a lot of like Flatbush that moved to Tom's
moved
River.
in overnight.
Jackson is more people from Lakewood that are, you know, like more chill. They just want to get out of Lakewood. So that's more.
My friend
what
has
Jackson
a horse farm or a baby farm.
Yeah,
I don't know something. A horse.
I need to go. I love horses.
Yeah, he has a horse farm there. Yeah, and
That's such a Jackson
he
thing, yeah.
actually told me, he was like this is like 10 years ago. They have a few children, and they just wanted to get out of New York and away from Jews. Like, we love Jews, but you know, from a distance.
Right.
Yeah.
And now.
And I'm like, so where are you moving to? And they're like, oh, I never heard of this place before, but like, you know, it's close enough to Lakewood, like that we can pick up groceries, but it's far enough. And then he moved to Jackson, and then I don't know, like literally
they named the horses after your favorite shadchanim.
He moved there for the horses. Like he has a special children's, horse farm, whatever. Very interesting. Yeah, the interesting guy. How do I know this guy? I don't know.
Yeah, you're too cool.
And anyway, P.S. Like literally a year later, I'm getting texts. These damn Jews moving in. Oh my god! Like all of a sudden, 100. That's it.
The
100,
hottest
200,
spot.
300, 500.
Legit.
It's
Jews
crazy.
are-
South
they're kinda like
Jersey,
mosquitoes.
South Jersey.
It's like,
Just
oh my god, we're
follow
so
you
cool. We
everywhere.
live in Jackson. Like, you are not escaping Lakewood. I hate to break it to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't escape.
Do you resent like Lakewood? You're like living there and being from there, or do you just like I've lived there? Like it's still I can live an open-minded life
What
there
do you think?
within Lakewood.
Well, even like in Tom's River, it's kind of turning into like a little version of Borough Park. I like to say that's just me being dramatic.
I think
but
it is. I was
a
there
little bit.
pretty recently, a year ago.
It's full of Jews, like full of them.
Right. Right.
And you see it, but it's not as confined as Lakewood, definitely.
Mhm.
So I have a little bit of a different outlook. Than
I
someone
live
who
in
grew up
Lakewood,
there.
like, and I think like it doesn't at all bother me. There was a stage that I had to go around saying I hate Lakewood. Lasted like a year. But like,
I remember that state. Hello.
Right, we go way
went.
back.
We went to Dora
Yeah.
Golding, so we grew up very diverse, very diverse. We got the screw ups from that neighborhood. We got the screw ups
we did.
from
I'm
that
from
neighborhood.
Lakewood.
We did.
We got the bums from that. The only Staten Island we got the good kids. Staten
Really?
Island had the good
Depends.
kids. Yeah,
So
they had the
random.
good kids. And like first of all, now they're like all in Hatzalah, so right away you can see like, oh, they're the good kids. And yeah, I tell you, yeah, just there's some places that will just be known, like they just come with like this stigma, and it's tough to get rid
I'm
of.
sure many of your friends probably, or at least the people you grew up with when you were younger,
Yeah.
wouldn't even know what a podcast was, right? Or wouldn't even know how to find one,
It
right?
might be like pushing it, but it's
A little
it's
dramatic.
Well,
Yeah.
that's I don't know.
Just a little,
wouldn't-
Avery.
A little bit, no, but they
No, but I
wouldn't.
hear what you're saying.
They're not as culturally,
Yeah.
Right.
adaptive
Not at all.
yet.
Exactly.
And
Just from the school system itself.
Right,
But like I
right.
actually love Lakewood. I love my life. Like I have like my work and then just like my places that I like to go to hang out.
Mhm.
And yeah, I like Lakewood.
Do you want to
Very
move your mic
convenient.
up, by the way? You could like
Mine?
this. Yeah.
right.
I could touch.
Yeah. Move it. Yeah.
All
That's what
good,
she
all
said.
good.
Bring it forward like this.
That's what she
Look
said.
at this.
Okay.
Like that. Oh, that she got a joke.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I'm saying
She
you don't
got
have to.
her,
You don't
that's
have to
what she
lift
said.
up. You can sit back.
How?
That's why. Okay.
No. We got this. It's fine. I'm
Okay,
gonna
you're
sit like
good,
this. I'm good. Thanks.
Um.
I had
Wait.
a question to go
Yeah,
next.
yeah,
but
you got
yeah,
one?
was there? I'll ask Tommy to start. Was there like a community? Do you feel a community pressure from the various shadchanim or like people in your neighborhood saying you should go meet this shadchan, you should meet that person? They're gonna find you, your husband and this
Yeah,
and the
definitely.
other.
I mean, it's not anything too crazy, the pressure, but once you're in it, it could get a little overwhelming.
Right.
But people are definitely pushing all the time, especially like Michal and I are 20, turning 21. So we're at that like
getting
nice
up there,
age
getting
where,
up
where
there.
people are
Older
excited
single.
to
Yeah,
start
right.
sending
No
everybody
more
up and-
fake library card from
Yeah.
yeshiva that says you're 21.
Right, exactly,
Right.
exactly.
You'll actually be
I
able to
never
get
had a
into
fake.
my events now.
No?
Yep.
I remember when a fake cost 25 cents, but now it's expensive. Now that everything's digital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're ready to throw away the fake IDs in about a month or two.
I don't have
but-
fake
Yeah,
ID.
throw them out. No, they. Of course, look at.
You think me?
You don't
Never.
have.
No, we're very anal.
You,
We're
you
very
don't
good.
have. I can see.
Right.
You probably never had one. You know. I
Me?
had one.
Fake
I had
one? No. God, no.
You don't
You
really
rub
need the
all.
fake. You kind of just need to bat your eyelashes a little bit, and then you'll be fine. Everything,
God.
yeah. But no, at our age, I feel like people are definitely pushing you to get started. Even though
Right.
I've been in the dating system for a while, but when I was just starting out, people were, go talk to this person, talk to that. I have an idea. I have this. I have this.
Mhm.
And that, I don't know if I would call it pressure, but I felt pressured. You know what I mean? Everyone's
Ooh. Can you push back? Can you?
in what sense? Like
They're
tell
like,
them,
just
no.
go out with him. Right? Something like that.
So-
and if they're your friend, they're a shotgun. How do you?
So with Shadchanim, it's a little harder, I feel like, just because I was talking to Michal about this earlier, and just they, like, when you're just starting out with Shidduchim and talking to Shadchanim, and you say no to, like, your first or second resume,
Yeah.
the Shadchanim already,
man,
they're
that's
like,
rough.
they kind of lose interest in you already.
That's rough,
They're
though.
like,
They check you off.
That sucks.
yeah, like, you're already one of the picky ones. Okay. Go
How do you
figure it
get
out.
around that? Is there?
I don't know if there's a
around it?
smart way to do it, because there's just
Right.
if you can come in clear and say, these are the things I care about and this is what I'm looking for, and they're very important to me. And if you turn down anything else, the shadchan might they might try their best to encourage you to go out with that person anyways. And if you keep saying no, they'll just look at you as if okay,
Right.
you're picky, I can't really deal with you.
I will give a little bit of an analogy here, right? We had this wonderful young dude who started, and we'll call him Thomas. Thomas started working at our company.
Better than Delilah.
Yeah, no. Oh, we'll call her Delilah. No, that was Thomas.
Maybe
This
they'll
guy
date.
Thomas.
Maybe they'll date Delilah and Thomas.
Delilah. And
That's a shout
I
out
have
to
a
the
shit
Lakewood
up for you.
audience.
Okay, he's
We'll discuss after.
yeah,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. No, I'm kidding. So Thomas comes into the company, and he's working there, and he's like from I actually think he went to my college, Baruch, and he was that Baruch, and he comes out, and he's like, oh, I work in IT, and he's like this big IT, Anyway, like we're giving him, he just started, it's an internship, first job out of school, so we're giving him, nebuch work, let's say, and basically the point is that he wanted like everything in the beginning, and we're like, you got to pace yourself. Can people accept this? Like, meaning if you're young and you're starting out and you're 2 years in dating, or certainly if it's your first guy or 2 or 3, I mean, do you have to accept it? Because there's some people who would say, look, you're a beginner. You
Right.
gotta, do
it's
you
part of
really
being
know what you
established.
want?
So funny. I used to always have the argument in my head, like, do you have a right to be picky when you're younger or when you're older? Like, people say, oh, you're young, like, don't even settle, like, take whatever, like, you deserve. But then I look at it as, like, maybe the older people shouldn't settle. They're the ones that should be picky because they waited this long. Like, when you're young, like, you're starting
maybe
to
that's
learn
why.
what works for you. So go and explore. Don't just say no to everything right away. You learn what to say no from going out with people. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just...
Well, let's also try not to waste anybody's time and say yes just because
Oh, yeah.
just because it's fun.
That's a big one.
Well,
Avery,
Michal, that
happened to
could be
you, right?
why someone's older and single, meaning like they were more selective when it comes to things.
True, right.
And that's the reason. It's like, okay, like they really are very selective about a certain attribute of a
Right,
person they
so
want to
true.
date. And it's just, okay, fine. Like it's not a problem. It's not a negative against them.
They
It's
pigeonhole
just the way to
themselves.
be. Or, but, like I feel like yeshivas and seminaries, at least the yeshivas when I was there and the Rebbeim would tell us and say, find the first person that you can find to marry, get married young. Obviously the Gemara says get married at 18, right? Get married young and get married when you're, and then you'll learn how to deal with things.
Young and dumb.
Young and dumb, sort of. But in today's day and age, there's so much other things that young and dumb carries into a marriage. And unfortunately, you see things, that people who were married when they were young and dumb, grow up into marriages that don't necessarily look like the marriage that, I would idealize. Like
Right.
people have a vision of what they want. Hopefully you have some sort of vision of what you want and what you don't want. And if it looks like it's going to be something that you don't want it to look like I would advise, don't settle for something quickly. Nothing against Rebbeim and Rabbanim, but that's just, my perspective on it. I don't know.
Sure.
It sort of changes, but
Yeah, I'm so against
shifts
the
over
young
time.
and dumb thing. People say that all the time, and I see these even guys in Lakewood that like they're 21 and they're just getting married, and I know like they know nothing from life, and like people say like let them get married young and dumb. I'm like so that they could get married, and then 6 months after the hype dies down, like all of a sudden it's real life and they have no idea like what to do with it. I don't think young and dumb is good.
Well, we could say, by the way, the same for the girls.
Right.
But it doesn't. No, I agree. Like it doesn't matter. We've brought it up many times on the show that it's all about life experience, right? I
Right.
mean, how many? Really, they say you got to be mature, but like how many 5-year-old nephews or nieces you have who are like the most mature? That's tzaddikim
True.
at 10 years old.
There's
even,
exceptions, I guess.
right? So you could be mature, but there's a difference between life experience. Like I went out. If I ever saw a girl who like maybe lost a sibling or lost a parent, Rahman son, something like that, I would always be like, oh, hey, that girl might be a few years younger, but she could relate more to me because she has that life experience. That really builds you up. How do you ascertain things like that? How do you ascertain when, if we call you're getting set up through friends, right? How do you get to know this information? They convey. What do your friends say? I know what they say because I probably listened to them and I was like, he's a great guy. Oh my God, family man, top of this year.
So I actually, like, if they give something too general, I'm not afraid to ask questions. I already know by now I've gone out with enough guys that, like, I have an understanding of what I'm looking for more detailed. So I can ask my questions and then they'll just answer honestly because, again,
That's good.
they're people that know me and they just care for me. So some people that are random, they'll, let's say, come into my store, they're, like, a frequent shopper. So they'll, like, set me up, like, randomness. I'm just like, it's so irrelevant.
I hear that.
And like,
Right.
I don't even care
Work.
to say no a few times. I'll explain to them like, I'm not like crazy picky. I'm saying no because you're just missing the things that are most important to me.
Yeah.
But like when people like know me personally and they just want the best for me, then they usually like, they'll be just fully honest with me.
I see. We could relate to that because too many people, they're like penny stock salesmen of the 90s here. We're like,
Right.
hey, you're clearly dumb. You don't know anything. Just buy this penny
Right.
stock. And no, like, we, by the way, I learned this. Avery, you learned this. Okay. We remember with what's her name. And it's like
I don't know what you're referring to.
F, what's her last name? T?
L.
Who L?
Let's go through the whole alphabet.
What's
while we're here.
F's last name? Anyway.
Continue.
What's her name?
Phoebe.
That's Shadchan.
Call me.
Rumi. What's Rumi's last name? Okay. Anyway, basically, we'll crop that out. I don't care. I'll call her out. She's a slut. No, anyway.
She's a shotgun.
Yeah, you have to tell them. You have to
Yeah.
tell them. Like, you gotta be like, okay, look.
Like when they listen to the podcast.
You have
they
to
need
know, like, if this person, I have no interest in this person setting me up. You have to just say, look.
That's true.
My shidduch life, my dating life is very personal. It's none of your business. That's the very radical extreme you could go to, or you can cave. You can digress and just like let them, tell them what you're looking for, etc. But generally, people have, the shidduch. What do we call the pocket resume? They just pull it out of their pocket, like, oh yeah, I got. Oh, 1 second. And the rabbi pulls out his glasses.
Yeah.
And Shleim be here, and he like pulls out a little photo.
Yeah, what do you call it? Like the back burners.
The fact
Right?
that
The back burners. You have something that
Here, he was engaged to 3 of my nieces. Here,
you're really not that
great guy,
interested in.
great guy. Here,
God.
that's a little
Yeah.
picture.
Or there's that guy that who's been with who's tried with every single girl,
yeah.
and
The
it's like,
it guys.
I don't want that person in my life. Like,
Quite
it's
stoic,
good when
I
you've
must
never
say.
heard of them before. Like, you really don't want to hear of the
It's
person
true.
that you want to date.
No, but I also had like a lady, like she read me to a certain guy that she read to like 4 of my friends like the day before. Like she was just like, no, in those few days she was reading him to like all of us. And
I
like it was
remember
so irrelevant for all of us, but she was just trying, a lot of people, it's just like, oh, I think she's cute. And like, I know someone that needs to get married. Let me set it up. Like, no, like try to like think before you just like, I don't just like set people up. It has to sound
That's
relevant.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but
It'd be like, it's like, oh, you're at the Shabbos table. I mean, we're gonna experience it this week, right?
Oh God.
Oh, what's going on
Should we
in
tell the
Shabbos?
Remind
people?
me.
Should we tell the people where we're going? We're going to Fair Lawn, New Jersey. IJ and Avery on
Should
tour.
we-
Fair
we're not
Lawn,
on
New
tour.
Jersey.
It's not far from
We're
Lakewood.
going to a Shabbaton, so it was free.
Nice.
So we're like, we're in.
Oh, it's
We
so
don't know
fun.
anything about it.
It's gonna
Are
be
you
hilarious.
serious?
So
It's
much
going to be
like-
hilarious.
So
Our
fun.
characters.
but we're giving it a try. Hey,
Yeah.
singles events. You've been to those?
Oh, there's like an event we've been
Can we
to
say-
a
can
couple
we
of months
say-
ago.
Can we say where we met
That
you?
was a fun
Yeah.
event, though.
So we met. So Michal
was
was
fun.
very interesting. We actually one reason why we reached out to Michal was that because you came to the singles event, and we're like, this girl, she looks like she's maybe 20, 21, like. I guess she must be 30 because, only 30-year-olds go to singles
friends.
event. We're like, you look great for 30. But,
Matchmakers for society.
but it turns out, oh, my name's Michal from Lakewood. We're like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? Like,
You guys all
wait a
snuck
second.
in.
And you were
Reaction.
your other friend, I don't know if she wants to mention her name, but, we're like, what are you two doing here?
Me and
You know?
Tali.
And you can just see it in the eyes.
another
Like, you
one,
can see
too,
people, stressed, right? You, Tali, and think Figgy was there?
Yeah, along.
And I was there.
And you were there, Tommy.
Yeah.
Both you were there, both there.
All right, yeah.
So both you were like, we're
Yeah.
like, you two,
Yeah.
you four look very happy. You look like you have a lot more of life to live. Like what?
Yeah.
I haven't been
Yeah.
through the entire.
It's the look
Shidduch
we
system
get
yet.
sometimes when people hear them. Yeah, we're probably the youngest
What
ones
inspired
there.
you to come? What was the deal with that?
You
I'm
can
not
go
gonna
ahead.
lie. I was kind of dragged along.
Oh,
Okay, good.
That's a great
There's
time.
always, there's
No,
always
no,
one.
it's just
There's
not.
always
It's
one.
just not kind of.
me too. Yeah, that's all right.
Wasn't
No, it
wasn't
just-
exactly my scene to talk to people. I would say.
Well, that's
a very
that is tough, by
uncomfortable
the
thing.
way. Well,
Yeah,
how did
yeah.
you feel after? I mean, you did push yourself. Like you went to this
after
event.
I was glad that I went because I'm still on this. I'm on the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. so
Yeah,
clearly nothing
hello,
happened.
yeah.
hello.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
To make you feel
meeting-
good, I went because I wanted to go.
Yeah. Oh no way. Oh well, we thought because we were.
good you
gonna
like
be
to make
there.
this
No, and it wasn't like I thought. First of all, I thought it was 20 to 25. I had no idea until
Really?
every guy walking over to me is like 30 years old. I
Yeah,
was like,
she had no idea until
oh,
5 minutes before we
noted.
got there.
I didn't go because I thought I was older single. I was listening to your podcast and I was like, I trust these
No
guys.
way.
So like they
Thank
for sure
you.
have
That's
something good
funny.
going.
God, you trust us. Thank you very.
It was
we
fun.
pour our
We had a
heart
good
and
time.
soul.
Yeah, it was
into
very
Yeah,
well
it was. You
organized.
guys did a
was
very
fun.
good job.
It was
It
Thank
fun.
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What did I
Till the
say? That you just trusted me right like that? I was defending the girls. I was defending the girls.
Yeah, no, maybe it was Miss D. And Miss D actually was
Miss
there.
D?
She
Yeah.
was there. I met her.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have
I know.
a great, smooth talking voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like,
I grabbed Miss D and I'm like, Miss D, I know you're showing, but come, you got to meet everyone. Miss D over here.
Yeah.
Miss D over there. And people are like, oh, Miss D, what happened? And everyone's like, Miss D, whoa, didn't you start your own podcast? And then I went somewhere else.
she
and
did?
She
and they're
did.
like, oh, Miss D, like, I thought you moved to Israel. And then someone's like, Miss D,
And that was
I
when the
thought you were,
spotlight-
I thought you,
Exactly.
everyone had these rumors going around. That was fun.
Do they have events like that in Muncie? And not Muncie, in Lakewood
Well,
and
actually,
Tom's River?
our Michal here actually hosted an event a couple weeks
No
ago.
way.
guys, be proud of me.
Oh,
After
wow.
her event,
MW.
me
Yeah.
and myself and Tali, we
How
hosted.
was it?
It was actually, I was so nervous. My main thing was that like there shouldn't be awkward tension, and like it went really well. A few couples
Wow.
went out. One couple's still going out.
All right. There's always
gosh.
one. By the
I
way,
know,
that's the
right?
stats. There's
No,
always
No, but you know
one.
what? Even if like
Yeah, I had
nothing,
one.
no one gets engaged from this, like something came out of it that people are afraid to make single events. I feel like in Lakewood, and also we want it to be not just for older single, but even people that are younger that they just want an alternative to shidduchim.
Yeah.
So I had like some unofficial shadchanim who
love
like
it.
see
I
my
love
WhatsApp
this. Look at
status.
us.
They like replied to it and they're like, oh my gosh, I actually always wanted to do it. Like, you want to help me plan one? I was like,
No way.
sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everyone was really vibing. Like we
my
had a
God.
game planned. We didn't even have to play it.
No way.
Yeah, it was.
I mean,
cute.
I attended that event like kind of as a guest.
Yeah,
just,
she was just
to-
there.
Tommy,
like,
did
more
we
like
inspire
One of the
this event?
associates.
Tell us
Yeah,
the
yeah,
truth.
definitely.
Wow.
You guys are
That's
the
great.
backbone of this all.
I
Yeah, I
can't.
know.
Like this singles event.
Yeah. No, but they
light
pulled it
bulb,
off really
like,
well. The 3 people that hosted it, they did a great job.
Amazing.
Honestly,
Right.
Was there alcohol, by the way?
of course, there was a bar.
There's
of
alcohol,
course, we had a
right?
bartender.
You gotta. It has to be very
That's where I was
nonchalant.
most of
It's
the
got to be
night.
I'll
nonchalant.
show you pictures after. Actually, also looked
Okay.
really pretty.
Right, we're gonna show. We're
We'll
gonna
have to
post
see.
it on.
Yes.
We're gonna post it on Avery's Twitter at Avery Danger. Okay, everyone,
Yeah,
we're gonna
my
put it
shit.
on there.
Not his Instagram.
Not my Instagram.
Oh
That's
my
it's getting
gosh.
deleted.
No, don't delete that. No, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so so here's one thing. I mean, I think we touched up a little bit, but do you feel that? I mean, I know but like, do you feel that you're judged more from where you're from? Like, actually, let's say you're going on these dates now with these guys. You know, wherever you meet them, your friends, shadchan, and they're like, "Well, you're from Lakewood. You can't do that, or you can't talk like that, or dress like that, or act like that, or say something like that, or like, how do you know about that place?" Tommy.
gonna give you
Can I take a pause?
You're
for a
like, I'm
second?
cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
Can I
Take your
pause
time.
for a second?
Take
I was
your time.
looking for, I wrote something.
So for
about
my
it.
Oh, go. Yeah, fine.
Michal, you go first.
So for myself, like I feel like people in the first minute they're just like shocked and they're like the classic like what you're from Lakewood, and then on dates specifically like once even after like a few minutes I think they right away just like forget about the whole Lakewood thing and we just hopefully vibe. But it's like I think they more are intrigued probably than judging, if I could say. I think
Intrigued.
that's how it
Yes.
is?
Yes.
Do they make you pay the
That's a good word.
tolls? Once every day?
No.
I'm just kidding. That'd be
Otherwise,
a drop.
yeah.
That'd be a drop. But,
Exactly.
Those tolls are like
dead on
the precipice of going to Lakewood. Period.
The tolls, the driving.
By the way, let me ask you. Okay, so I know I've been on a few Lakewood dates. You've been on a few Lakewood dates. Okay,
Couple.
So there's there's a kosher meat store where you can bring your own wine. I don't remember what that place was. And then, this is like 2 years ago, right before Corona. So, but there's like Starbucks. What else is there to do there? What else is there to do
Nothing.
there?
Should we
I'll
tell
be
them?
straight up.
Where do you go on
Not the right
dates? What do you do? You have a guy come in and pick you. Like, do you meet
Deal
him?
is a
Deal is-
great place.
Oh, so
Great
deal.
hotspot.
How far
Deal
is
is
that?
really
Okay.
It's 25
Deal,
minutes out.
people.
25
Deal.
minutes? Okay.
Deal.
35
You'll tell them
minutes.
Michal sent you.
Okay.
Like 10% off.
Asbury
10%
Hotel.
off.
Deal.
is really
Oh, you're
nice.
right. Deal does have some good
Deal
spots.
is a good spot.
What would you recommend? Like, what are your
The boardwalk.
Salt.
If the weather is nice.
salt?
I love that place.
Oh
Is that a
yeah,
restaurant?
yeah.
Well, that's
I
not
don't
really
know.
a first date.
No, but
activity,
I hate food dates. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
Boardwalk. I've done the boardwalk many times.
But that's okay. What else? Like,
Okay.
what else is there to do? I mean, what else is there to do
Well, are
in
you
New
talking
York?
first date? Like coffee type?
No, like
Then there's
after.
No, like you could go to Dave and Buster's. You can do
Right.
like
Right.
arcades, boardwalk, coffee,
Right.
food.
See, that's an issue they never had in Lakewood because if you're dating in Lakewood, you're kind of subjected to you're dating a girl 4 or 5 times. Think of our friend Brian, right? 4 or 5 times, 6 times. Then you're engaged.
Yeah.
Wow.
But now you got to think like, wait a
No,
second.
8, 9, 10.
Yeah, now you're going out.
Exactly.
You're going out now for 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Where the heck do you go? This has never been a problem
Well,
before.
I am just proud to say that I never did a hotel lobby date.
Oh,
I
that's
always
good.
swore in my life. I'm
Wow.
like, I just can't do it. See every other couple in Lakewood
That's
sitting in
good.
Ocean Place,
Yeah.
awkwardly talking and making
That's why I
ripping their
love
teeth
Ocean
out.
Place. I love
oh
it.
my god.
I went on a Pace Out program. And I haven't been on it.
Oh, that's a great
Oh my
place.
gosh.
I stayed there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of that
OP.
place. I don't go there.
A lot of fun.
Oh
Some
wait,
people
wait.
call
So
it-
wait,
Nice
wait a
in the
second.
pool.
On
I don't
any-
think you can go in the pool on the first date though.
Oh, playing pools.
No, I would
Well,
go on a.
I don't think you can actually
I've done
go
a pool
swimming
on
on
a
a first
second
date.
date. On a second
You went
sort of
swimming
date.
on
I've
a
gone
second
on
Well,
date?
like
6.
there was a pool party. It was the summer. I'm like, oh yeah, let's just go. And they're like, yeah, I'll go. And we just showed up. And
Yeah.
Wait, just to confirm, we're talking about not the swimming pool, shooting pool.
No.
No,
We were talking about a
swimming
swimming
pool.
pool.
A swimming pool?
Yeah.
What? Like
It was in my
no.
it was in my
Question
Modoc's experience.
Yeah.
you know?
Uh-huh.
Stage.
This happened.
I didn't know
you
about
know,
this Modoc stage.
This happened last, whatever.
You went through a
Specifics.
like a Julia Hart stage.
Yes, I did.
Are you
yes.
serious?
I have tattooed. No,
Oh my gosh! Please don't
no,
say
You had a
that.
reality
that was
show.
Not on
the
this episode.
comparison. That was the comparison there.
Oh my gosh, that's too
You
funny.
brought
No.
you brought her up.
Yeah, pool is a great date though.
Well, first of all, it's called
Pool.
billiards.
Billiards.
That's the first
Yeah.
thing.
Billiards.
Right, exactly.
It is a fantastic spot.
It is great.
We used
You
to
had
go every
something-
Thursday night.
Yeah.
It was our
Michal
chill.
and I
Oh,
used to,
every
yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah,
I'm
religiously.
still
We'd go
very
out to
pretty
eat.
religiously.
Wait, so
Okay,
that's
that's
an
an
interesting
idea.
thing because I'll tell you, one thing I remember, like there were some Saturday nights when we have there's some age between me and you two, right? So or whatever. I don't know if Avery wants to identify his age, but
Yeah, we're
That is-
millennials. You're probably like.
I'm
Gen
telling you
Zs.
right now, like I remember some days back in the day when I was like a few years ago, and I had the opportunity, early Motzei Shabbos, very apropos, to just like go out with the guys. And there were some Motzei Shabbos, I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I just need to chill. Like I gotta order like a pie of pizza and just watch
Yeah.
catch up on One Tree Hill or whatever, and like I'm done. And now I look back and I'm like, you know what? I wish I maybe spent a few more with my friends because one by one they get picked off. Is that on your minds?
Of course. They cut. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
it's
with girls
sad.
especially.
Do you understand though? Like I'll tell you like this in my theory, which we experience because Avery was engaged, and when they get engaged or when they come to you and they're like, look, I'm getting engaged. It's like it was nice knowing you, Shakayach. I'll see you after the second kid.
Right.
You have to accept that.
Yeah,
you have to
it's
accept
a real
that.
acceptance.
And
I've
say,
done
look,
it.
you're my friend, and the way I could show you my love, and is that like I wish you the best, and I know your priority is your wife, your in-laws, the sibling. Like you now actually go work.
Right.
It's bittersweet.
So you get put into a
That's
bit of
the
a
challenge.
juxtaposition, but
That's
you
the
got to do
challenge.
it.
Yeah,
They're
it's
your
a reality
friend.
that people just have to start.
But if you
I
really
feel like-
care for them, like you'll be like, okay, good, this is the best for you.
course.
You have to detach and say like, okay, that's great.
Like, goodbye for now.
I know.
For now, and then they start crying.
Wait, actually,
I
oh my
miss
God.
you. I need you. Like my husband and my wife is making me crazy.
Oh
I need
my
golf Sundays
gosh.
though.
My
Even when
husband
I was-
doesn't understand me.
Even when I was engaged, I said I'm gonna have golf Sundays. It was in the
in
documents.
writing.
Yeah, but we got
It was in writing.
Underwriting.
It has to be.
So
You need
Tommy, I
Sundays.
feel like for you, like just because I know your friends, like probably all the engagements started happening in the past few months, right?
Most of them, yeah. But for girls, it's a little bit different. I feel like they just go one after the next.
Yeah.
They're kind
Why
of.
is that?
Yeah.
Is it like
It's a,
Guys,
it's
it's
a
a little bit
trend.
more sporadic.
But
it-
for me, like because I went, so let's say I went, even nothing to do with art, but already like my really good friends have been starting to get married over a year ago, like for a year and a few months. So technically, the pressure has already been in me like already for like a long time. My mother's Sephardi, so I also have like her like she wanted me to be married like 2 years ago. I should be pregnant by now.
Oh my gosh.
But
That
so
happens.
like I'm used to this. Like I'm used to like saying like the short goodbye, knowing that in like 3 months they'll like hit me up maybe.
Maybe.
But like if you're good, I'm really
For the
seeing.
occasional shaitel show off at the local
Go out for brunch.
delicatessen
nice.
salad joint. What's
Yeah.
it? Salad
Yeah,
joint,
yeah.
okay.
It's like kissing up to them while they're engaged, and then when they get married, it's like no talking,
It's like
and then
I'm
3
done,
months later,
yeah.
it's like, hey, I'm alive. But-
Hello, my entire 20s, my you know, that was it. Now I have one friend who's reaching out. You know, Hanan. He's been
Oh, yeah?
so
So
like
nice
my
of
best
him.
friend of like 10 years ago.
off.
Who I did this. He's been calling me, and I'm like. He's just calling me at the wrong time, and I'm like texting, and I'm like, it's just.
Well, it's because life is balance. You have to learn how to sort of balance it all out before you're in a relationship, because you can't depend on that relationship to fulfill your happiness.
Right.
With anybody, with anything, with parents, with friends, with podcasting, with work, you need to figure out. Everyone needs to figure out what's the correct balance for them, so that you can live your most authentic life. You know, doing the things that you love to do.
Right.
And it doesn't happen when you're solely focused on one thing. You know, you see that a lot with these couples who end up, you know, like just they look like they're attached to each other, and then like again, like we said, one day, you know, and
You need a little bit of
I've seen it so
balance.
many times.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy.
Yeah, but the whole thing of like each one being picked, like
Yeah.
it's like it's very bittersweet. I'm already like at a place where there's one of my good friends from seminary left single. Everyone else is married, and it's like also I have a very busy job that keeps me on my toes 24/7. So if I'm not going to sit there reaching out to them, like oh forget it, we're screwed. There's like nothing going if I'm not reaching out. So
It's like,
it's
please just
challenging.
reach out to me.
No, so they do.
You know,
They're
sometimes
nice,
you have
know?
to play hard to get. I mean, seriously.
Even with the
You
girls,
have
like-
to.
Well, you have to prioritize. Like, do they want? Does this friend? We have friends like that. You know, like I'll reach out. I'll be the one who's always contacting them. Like, hey, you want to do something? Hey, you want to like let's make something happen. You want to chill? And then at like a certain point in life, I'm just like, screw it.
Screw it.
I'm not doing this. Like, we're either going to be friends and like hang
You have to
out.
accept your fate.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like I'm not
like
consistently.
you're not holier
going
than thou
after
because you have a ring on your finger.
Yeah,
Or
that too.
not in your friends.
I mean, I hear. I don't know. Well, no,
You know what I'm saying?
they
well,
do.
rings, yeah, okay.
They
right.
wear
We're from
man rings.
Lakewood.
Or
We
a
forget.
cheap, cheap watch.
Guys wear rings.
Yeah,
I don't- God,
will.
no.
No, he
Never.
won't.
But,
I will. I already have my
I
picked
think it's
out.
cute. I think it's hot.
It's been fitted. I can't
I'm
wait.
not-
Gold. And I'm getting my Zadie's ring. So like
No
I'm gonna have
way.
two.
That's
One's
cool.
for Shabbos. One's for the weekday. Finally, once after that we buy the house, I got some spare change. I'm gonna get one for the Yom Tovim. Like I have this.
She
planned
doesn't
out.
even get a ring.
Clearly
Yeah,
you're still-
He keeps.
She.
the
I
ring.
don't know. No,
She's gonna
has
buy
to-
himself an engagement ring.
She has our other friend. Like you know, he asked his parents. I'm asked. That's it. I'm just asking the parents there or the bank. I mean, either one.
That's a good
Whatever it
question.
is.
I wouldn't want to ask. I mean, well, looking back on it, right? I had something from my parents, but I wouldn't ask again at
No.
this point. No, because you want to feel like you own it.
True.
It's yours.
I
Your
hear
ownership. You've taken.
I've seen
the
couples do that,
responsibility
by
of
the
it.
way. So like, he's like, I want to feel like I own this, and
Yeah.
he bought his own ring for very, very cheap. And then like when he made the money and saved it up, they bought a
It's
different
a
one.
it's a
you know?
delicate thing because you want to respect like your family. It goes back to like the weddings. You want to respect your parents. You know, you see what goes on in like Lakewood and how they like the certain wedding style. You want to respect and honor, you know, what they brought to the table.
True.
But at the same time, you want this to be your own new formed relationship. So you have to figure out that
Right.
what you exactly want and need from this. It happens in dating too, right? Because like you think within dating, right? You think of like someone who would fit well into the family, into your family, into your dynamic, right? Who would get along with your parents, get along with your siblings, let's say. You know, and you want someone like that. Everyone
Yeah, you have the
does.
whole vision. Mhm.
Right, you have the vision. You want that. But sometimes what your parents want, what your family wants, doesn't jive with what you want. You know, and I really like it's kind of the opposite.
That I know.
And you have to be able to say like, Yeah, and you have to
they
say.
wanted me to marry Sarah McAllister. You know,
Yeah, an Irish girl.
MD.
Oh my god.
An Irish Catholic girl.
And they just every
They
day.
didn't even
They just
believe
went
in
down.
Yeah, this
God.
is
Wow.
every day I go back home and my father's like, "Did you call her yet?" I'm like, "It's been 8 years. I think she's married. Actually, I don't care. Call her."
God.
Yeah.
Must be tough.
Avery, let me
Yeah.
ask you.
Go for it.
Oh, I had one of these. 1 second. Wait 1 second. I had a question here.
Then we talk about the diamond rings in the meanwhile.
Diamond rings?
I'm always like, yeah, if we start off and he gets me like a regular ring, and then like I give him an opportunity for in like 5 years.
Yeah,
give me
right.
a
So
rock.
the upgrade.
I'm
a
really
rock.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, do people get engaged with bracelets or rings? It's like
First of all, I'm
that
not
sort
into
of
the
thing.
bracelet. Just put the money in the rock, please.
Well, that's why I tell younger
Interesting.
girls, like, by the way, you know, there's nothing wrong with dating a guy who's older. Like my sister, I have a twin sister. She married a guy who's a few years older, and he bought her a rock. And
Oh
my
my God,
young
young.
baby sister, she got married very young. I was so happy.
Our
but
lawyer,
she got a
JP.
little. She got a little. She got that's it. It was
JP
nothing.
did the same thing. JP
Oh
went
my
straight. You know, he took the money.
Oh,
he budgeted.
JP.
He went straight for
The
a
general counsel of this
beautiful-
podcast.
beautiful
We love
ring.
JP.
Our lawyer.
Well, who's
He's our attorney for the podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the attorney.
Wow.
He's the podcast
Okay, then.
attorney.
Yeah.
We have a lot of lawsuits coming in. You know.
Oh yeah, we're defending.
You know.
At this point, I would say just sell
I have
the
like
ring,
my
invest in
well my
some
last
NFT maybe. I don't know. Get ahead of the
It's not
game.
you know, we should speak after. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
business investor.
we need a crypto advisor for the podcast. So
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
fit that
Oh,
role.
yeah.
Yeah. I hear
I
Bitcoin's doing
Actually,
great.
can you imagine?
Yeah.
By the way, what are some crazy resumes you've been getting? Because we remember when, like, I sometimes I'll get like on a resume, girl's resume, WhatsApp group coordinator.
Wow.
That's such a girl thing. I'm not so
what's some
shocked.
wait? What are
So-
what are some things you see on these guys' resumes in Lakewood or whatever?
So it's not
coming
too
in from
crazy
Lakewood?
necessarily, but I do have a little bit of Hasidic background. So when people see that, they don't really understand like the different nuances between someone who's like an ex-Hasid, a tuna bagel. I hate to use these terms because like, you know, I am technically out of the box, but I'm also, how do you say these things? That the labels?
No,
like
just,
I
we
kind
love
of
labels here.
I kind of
I'm
right.
telling you right now,
They're-
we
I
love
kind of coined the
labels
term of like
100%.
Heimish modern Orthodox for myself.
Nice, I
But like
that.
that's
Okay,
hard to
good.
explain to people.
We'll trademark that. We're gonna sell it.
yeah.
We're gonna put it on T-shirts,
Please.
Heimish Modocs.
merch,
Yeah.
merchandise.
I love
Yeah.
that. We have to
Heimish
have
Gal
Heimish
tax.
Modocs is what I go by.
and Gal Tax. Okay.
Yeah.
Gal Tax.
So
TOX.
I get a
have to
bunch
add
of
that.
resumes that are just not up my alley at all, just because I have a little tinge of Hasidic background. So I get the guys that have like the pay is behind the ear but wear the jeans. I get the guys that want to wear a strimal for the rest.
It's
and it's just
we
like-
love that, by the way. Hello, we love that. Like
What? do
it's
we-
minhug.
Speak for
It's
me.
minhug. Well, I have a little
It's
Bavich
great. I
background.
have-
I'll speak for me. I don't
I have
love
a
that.
gartel. I have a
Okay,
gartel.
the way you had to like pause before you said that, it makes me question it.
I was like,
Do you
what is
actually?
it? I do.
Yes. Do you
I-
wear it?
I have one.
How do you wear it? That's the
So
question.
now I'm
no,
really
it's
getting mixed
tricky,
messages
it's
of your parents.
It's tricky. It's tricky. Like I don't really wear it. I wear it. I have a gartel.
But back to what you said about like interesting stuff on a resume.
Yeah, what is
like
it?
unique. I don't know. Like, is that a thing? Do you get like interesting stuff? I mean, the resumes that I get pretty much just says like. First of all, I look at you
Nursing
go like,
home,
oh, all your Lakewood
accountant.
resumes, as if like we get to Lakewood. Like I
The guys on
barely
Lakewood.
get read to Lakewood
They
people.
come in like Mitt
Right.
Romney. They come in by the binders.
Oh my god, they're all lined up outside BMG. Mhm.
like every now and then I'll get a cash advance guy, which is like not the best, but it's not.
Well, I will say, by the way, look, I am
I
defending.
can't breathe.
I am defending.
We're gonna like
and I
rapidly
do-
move on.
I do. Yeah, we are going to move on right after.
I don't mean
say
it in any
this.
derogatory way.
And I
just,
tell the
you know.
ladies, I tell you ladies,
That's
and,
fine.
and I hope, I know you two ladies know because you're here and you're shrewd, you're a good, well balanced mind. But the other ladies there, like, don't judge a guy what he's doing. Like Parnasa Mazel is from Hashem. It's going to come and it's going to come or it's going to go. Like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Well,
But what they're doing, when you're young, you try to figure out things like, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? You move around, you'll end up where you need to be.
Sure, but that's
Can
also
you-
a very
you know,
passive
like-
way of living life, I think.
well, if you're with a
Why?
guy and you're thinking, you know what, this guy, I could see he's going to put food on the table. You'll know, and you know what, whatever it ends up being.
Sure.
One of my
if you're
best
looking
friends.
for stability,
Let me tell you, one of my
know,
best friends is a
good for
plumber.
you.
I don't know what I think girls kind of look at that a little bit negatively, and he makes a lot of money. And I have a friend who works in finance, and he living on my couch.
Oh wow.
Nobody really.
oh,
No, that was
so
a
let
joke.
me go back to
but
the cash.
whatever, it's a point.
Let me go back to the cash
Yeah,
advance
yeah.
thing. I don't think it's a matter of finances or parnasa or anything like that. It's just it is a little bit of like sleazier job. Not gonna lie.
Easy money.
I'm not gonna.
But there's less shady
I'm not
versions
gonna
of
do
it.
that.
I'm realizing.
But look, let me
I've
tell
met
you,
a lot of people in
when
cash.
you're
that's not
working,
shady.
when you see a guy and
Not
he's
as
working in
shady.
cash
Not as
advance,
shady, right? All I think is shysters. I think of
nursing home?
con men. I think of.
that's what you.
That's what I
You're
think.
not
when you
like
think of
wrong.
cash
You're
advance.
not wrong.
I know because
But-
a lot of people are, but I've met people that really are such good people. But I guess they started working when they were young, so cash advance was like an easy option.
Yeah.
And there's levels of dirtiness in cash advance. It goes down, believe it or not.
Right.
There's different levels.
You
Well,
have
the fish
pe-
stinks at the head.
You have
So the
the
boss is usually the one
Right.
that's.
You have the local pizza store, and then you have like the Italian South Jersey mafia, right? It's there. Tony Soprano's right there. So anyway, well, like, yeah. So I mean, I was just saying on that, yeah.
So I was
With
asking
the
if you got any
jobs.
interesting
The
like
resumes.
Oh,
very
with
It's weird
girls. Oh, we
resumes.
have
Weird.
a whole list of
like WhatsApp
Well, it's a weird
coordinator?
occupation.
WhatsApp coordinator. Social media manager is now a thing. But I
Yes.
remember when it was not, like
That's a
3-4
business.
years ago.
I was gonna put that on my resume. And
Oh, you should.
no. I'm just like manager.
On your work resume?
Yeah, do it.
Or on your
Oh.
like.
No.
Oh, but
My
see, some guys
resume.
could get some guys
Okay.
could get intimidated. Like you're a manager. Well, that's a
Oh,
lot.
I need a confident guy, so he's gonna
There.
have to
Oh,
enjoy it.
tell the people.
Yeah.
Tell the people.
Confidence is key.
Now it's
Confidence
also a
is key,
great time
right.
to shout out your store, Michal.
Style and trend, please shop it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode has been sponsored by Style and Trend out in Lakewood, New Jersey.
Right.
They have some of the
Round of
most
applause
top
for them.
women's fashion trends, styles.
We
Get your tops, get your bottoms, get
IJ
your
gets his
hats.
tops there.
What else? Shoes.
No,
They
No,
sell shoes
accessories,
too.
beanies. We got jewelry.
Okay, they
All
sell
the
they sell-
fashionable Instagram
all the
brands that
fashionable.
you see on
Mention
the
nobody
gram.
talks to Dukham and get a discount.
Yes,
Exactly, 10% off.
mention, okay,
We should
10.
do that
You're
for
giving
real.
10.
Yeah.
NTS 10 for 10% off. That's NTS 10.
Hashtag.
Tell Michal, Avery, IJ, and Tommy sent you.
Awesome.
All
I
right.
just finished.
Avery,
counting.
where are we going to do with that money? We're going to buy a steak with it or something?
We're gonna invest it in.
Go to
Did
Saul.
you
lot of
two have
stuff.
any questions like you wanted to throw out, like and some stories? I know
Or
you
even
mentioned you had some
advice?
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
There were questions that we had more to say than others.
I want to
for it,
hear.
go for it.
I'm looking through it. Hold on.
Can I maybe also say like what we were discussing before?
1 second. I'm trying to find the one that we were talking about.
I have a bunch of stuff.
The question number 9.
We're
Is
at-
it difficult
we're
to
at
explain?
45 minutes. So,
No,
yeah.
we're good.
Wow.
You're like, what? I know. I'm like,
No, we have to do longer.
No,
we
the
can,
5-10
we can,
minutes.
we
I
can.
feel like we did- I didn't even say, like, my good
stretch it
point.
out.
Maybe we
Oh,
shouldn't
no.
skip some of the beginning. You know,
No, whatever.
we're getting to the good stuff.
No, we tell you 50
Oh.
and then we
We'll
can
get
go
to the
an
meat.
hour.
Okay.
It's
Question
not a
number
problem.
10. Can girls grow up in a rigid, frum environment and learn to rebel against it in a healthy way?
Yes, I love
Michal and I had something to say on that.
that. Rebel.
Okay.
Hashtag
Take it away,
rebel.
Tommy.
Oh, I thought this was like a pause.
No, I was just kidding. I was being, no. Not a
I'm
pause.
so lost.
Sick.
I was like, yo.
Great.
No,
Go
we'll,
ahead.
we'll edit this out. Go ahead.
Okay.
Not a problem. Unless you wanted
Well,
5 more minutes.
you bring up the question.
No, it
because,
takes
you
up
know,
like 2
you're the
minutes
host.
of our
Yes,
podcast.
we'll-
Hello, you need to edit it
I know,
out.
no, we're
Go
gonna
for
edit
it.
it. We're gonna edit it. Avery's gonna edit it out.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna have a fat
Tommy,
cigar.
Tommy, take it away.
speaking of how you guys grew up and how people grow up nowadays, can girls grow up in a rigid from environment, right? And then learn to rebel, right? Because we see that a lot of people who end up not wanting to be at all like their parents, right? I see them who turn off the derech, or modern people who become from, and learn to do it in a healthy way so that your relationships are still,
Maintained.
reparable. Yeah, like well
Well,
maintained.
I think that's definitely possible, but if you're going to rebel against traditional ideas, it takes some kind of like outsourcing and open-mindedness, and that, that's a difficult thing to, it's difficult to do. Growing up in a more rigid household environment, school, anything like that, it's definitely not easy, especially if you're interested in, like the kids that just don't want to have any interest in any sort of religion. That's a very easy thing for them to do. To just, I don't want to be Lakewood, but like go off the derech. Okay.
No, you
She's so
just
Lakewood.
said it. Come
She's so
on.
Lakewood.
I know.
We're supposed to be cooler than that.
I'm trying.
Hushguffic challenges, is that
Yeah.
a better word? Like,
Yeah, right.
Finding his
exactly.
path.
Finding their path,
finding
whatever
your
it
No,
is.
journey.
yeah, I mean, they
Your
use it in
religious
terms of
journey.
like negativity, whereas it needs to be looked at in
Right.
the form of like they're open to experiences.
Right.
You can't.
They're
It's
learning.
hard to explore.
No
other
one's afraid
ideas.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to explore
That's
other
good.
ideas when you're just surrounded by the same ideas that you've been taught since you were a toddler. It's not an easy thing to do at all. Definitely needs outsourcing, and it needs, people need to want to learn other things. It's not just a matter of abandoning all the beliefs that you have and figuring it out.
I like that. Deep.
Wow.
deep.
Yeah,
on
she's
that.
like the intellectual one.
Well, we have such people like certain yeshivish institutions here, Lakewood, that
Brooklyn.
maybe not they're not trying to keep the bubble tightened and keep people closed-minded, but it just happens naturally. You look at the Catholics and the Pope, and nobody knows what goes on there, right? With the priests and the Pope, right? Everyone thinks like, oh yeah, they're living this sick life, and everyone's like, doing whatever there, right? But in their own little worldview, that's what they know. They haven't been exposed to the things that we have been exposed to: movies, culture, TV, right? Literature, art,
religious
fiction.
obedience.
I haven't been exposed to nearly 95% of the things that people in the non-Jewish world have been exposed to. Especially recently, like having met a bunch of people who have converted or Baal Tshuvas and looking at their lives, it's been an eye-opening experience to see like how much I missed out on, right? In some ways as a kid, it's like, wow, we are so far behind them in that world. But at the same time, you have to figure out like, what do you love about that close-knit, closed-minded community that you can, accept and continue to bring into your life as something.
That's
right?
good advice.
Yeah. It's
I like that.
really cool.
Can I answer the question also?
Yeah, go for it.
So I took just my own thing. Like I looked at the question, and I think it depends what you call healthy. Like for me personally, I had to kind of go through a little bit of a phase, not an off the derech phase, but a little bit of my own phase, just to like find like, especially with seminary, that really helped me, but to like kind of see like real life, like where's my head at. And if I wouldn't have gone through those stuff as a teenager, then I wouldn't be happy with where I am today. So could it be that the stage I went through was a little bit unhealthy at a point? Not unhealthy like drugs, kind of unhealthy, but like, yeah, it could be. But at the end of the day, like it ended up being healthy because like that's how I developed myself as a person.
Yeah.
So
preconceived notion that it was unhealthy, but it really was a healthy
in
thing
hindsight,
for
it really
you.
wasn't. And it happens to be, I don't come from a yeshivish family, but I do come from a house where my mother, like, I heard a lot of no's. So like that also like
because of the yeshiva, because of the rules,
and she's not even from Lakewood. She's just like whatever she hears, that's what she has to say no to. And my dad's super chill. It's funny, but anyways,
listen to your ima.
no, I knew like don't even bother asking. Like she's gonna be like not a chance. Until one day I was like, okay, like you're just my mother. You're not a police. No, I'm kidding. But really, it took like.
Well, that's a problem. I mean, that
was a problem. Yeah,
it becomes, unfortunately, something that I've personally dealt with. That you have to be able to articulate a point of view or something you're teaching your child, and you have to. There's a line. There's a line to cross. Like, well, you can't do that. Why? Because Hashem said so.
Or because I said
Explain
so.
why.
I hated that.
Say what I said so. Or just talk to the child like, well, what do you think? And
well, how did we grow up, right? Isaac,
I don't.
with davening,
I have
it's
the
like
scars.
Yeshiva. No, but yeshiva. Would
They
be
just smacked me around.
We had
It
minyan
was
at
great.
7:55.
It was easier back then,
right? If you don't come, you get detention. But no one was ever saying, davening is beautiful. Let's teach you how to daven. Let's teach
Nobody.
you what the
I
words
know.
mean.
Well, we
Let's
can't really
sit
blame
down.
them because they were raised in a different generation. So it's like
disagree.
Of course, you can blame
they're
them.
learning on the job.
believe them.
But I couldn't see that as like I looked at my parents as parents are supposed to be perfect. What do you mean you're supposed to know how to be like how to like raise me? And so hearing all the no's didn't do anything healthy for me at the time being. Thank God I like who I am today. But like that's very risky for a parent to just say no all the time because I have friends that were able. They're such normal, healthy people now, and they went through such a like calm teenagehood. And I like I almost wish. I mean,
I know. So I'm so jealous of those people. But in some ways, but other ways, it's like, what's it like to just, you were allowed to have that 8th scoop of ice cream. What was it like, Avery?
no,
what was
I
it
think
like?
experience is cool thing.
Never had 8 scoops.
No, okay. Right.
Never
An eighth,
had,
an
I don't
eighth,
think I
an
even
eighth
had
of
one
a scoop.
scoop. I never had 1 scoop.
You had plenty. We know.
I'm not that
in like
gullible.
5 years.
No.
Just
Wow.
to
I had ice
backtrack a little
cream
bit
like
on what Michal said, like
7
sometimes when
years.
people go through different stages of exploration or anything, they're not really gaining much in a practical sense. They just gain more hindsight
Yeah.
more than anything
Beauty
else.
out of your mouth. That's such fact.
Stop! I'm blushing.
No, I love it. Very good. Very
They're
powerful.
not really gaining anything to improve their inner world at all. Just as I said, hindsight. They get older and they realize that they were an idiot, and here they are now, and they're great. But
I saw that because I used to dorm by like a couple for high school, and when I visit them, I see like the way they are with their kids, and I'm like, what about that thing that they're like, we don't care anymore, like we were wrong. And I'm like, oh, okay. Did the kids know that? Did the kids, because that's like closure. Got to give that closure. No,
it's true.
Now I like the vibes that you two are offering, giving. How does this play into social media? Because I was telling Avery in the prep, like I lived through that social media revolution, and I jumped in it. I thought it was awesome. I was like the first guy to have Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, I've been on
the only guy also.
The only guy. I know. Literally for a few years, I was the only guy. Yeah. Just me following all the.
You got that follow request from that guy?
Isaac, yeah.
He would send you that message.
Yes, and
send me money.
That was him.
That was him.
Yeah, and I'm an African prince. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm supporting it.
But see, a lot of I feel like how is it in your neighborhoods? Your neighborhoods, your people, your crew, like with social media, because that itself, several years ago, was just polarizing. It would bring up a very negative connotation for girls our age, a little bit younger, definitely older. Like they were like, I don't know. People had very negative connotations on it. But what's it like now? Is I feel like it's a positive thing.
I don't feel at all like that is like a Lakewood thing that's relevant anymore. I mean, you're talking to someone who's 20 years old. So a few years ago, first of all, I didn't really have like social media until I ran my store's account. But like now it's so normal for everyone to have Instagram. It's such a normal Lakewood thing. Yeah. It's not
so
not frowned
normal.
upon really. Like also the people that I'm associated with on a daily aren't really people that would judge me for having Instagram. It's like even very yeshivish people are walking around with smartphones, whether it's filtered or not is another story. But like it became super normal in Lakewood.
Well, that's also a little bit more of a Lakewood education question and a Lakewood dating question.
With education wise.
Yeah, I mean,
they're still making
parenting
people
class.
sign.
Yeah,
Do you know they're still
there are
making high school girls
contracts
sign that they don't have any form whatsoever? So they're making basically thousands of girls just lie. Instead of discussing, like, there's a school in Five Towns, right? Tag, I'm sure you've heard of it. Tag, where I had tag girls in my seminary.
Kicked out of there before.
So there were girls in my seminary that were from there, and I thought it was so nice the way they said, like, their school they know everyone has phones. So instead of discussing, like, don't have phones, it was like, let's talk about TikTok and Instagram and how to just, like, healthy boundaries with it.
Ooh, I like that.
Right? Isn't that smart? Like, it's not
this?
denial of what generation we're living in.
Shocked.
Lakewood's a little bit in denial of, like,
well, the
we're in
pandemic
20
probably changed that a
21.
lot because they started to realize, hold on a second, we need this stuff. Like, we're not going to live without it.
Right.
And
True.
that era has sort of shifted, the mindset. It's like, yeah, you're gonna have your Zoom. You're gonna have it.
What are the two rabbis in the
do it.
cave? Remember two rabbis that got locked in that
Two
cave?
rabbis in the cave. Rabbi.
we do it on Pesach. Yeah, they must
know
have
what
had
you're talking
TikTok in there.
Yeah, that's what they did. Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Eliezer.
imagine.
I don't know. It was too. There's a tale here.
Scandal.
But I have to tell you. See, one of my Rabbi Ari Ben Shushan, you're the man. I love you.
And Shushan.
Rabbi
Is
Ben
he on tour
Shushan.
anytime?
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing.
But there are like five of them. There's like Ari and Dovi and Yossi. Okay, anyway, Ari. So anyway, Rabbi Ben Shushan says on like one of his shiurim, he's like, he goes to high schools to lecture, elementary schools, and he's like, get out your phones. Go on, what I'm saying can't be better than that, can't bring you in, you get enthralled by it, then what am I doing here?
Right.
And I think that's the right attitude to have,
right,
in order for like this better mindset is like, what do you love about that? Rather than wake up, it's 8:45 on a Saturday, you were out late, go take out the trash and go to shul.
To tie it back to Shidduchim and dating, right? Again, it goes back to married, young and dumb, like we were discussing earlier, right? Because the fear of not getting married because of something that, or has been instilled in us because of this, closed-minded thought process where people are afraid at 19 that they're not going to get married, and they're getting married because of this fear and because of this pressure from the rebbeim, from the seminaries, and that's not a way to enter into a healthy marriage.
Not at all.
People you have to want to do it. Like we said with religion, like people who go off the derech, like people could off the derech, like
That's
negative
so cringy.
connotation,
Why would you say
horrible.
off the derech?
I know I'm a bum,
So
but
yeshivish.
I'm very yeshivish. But again, the same thing. It's like you have to want to do it at the right time, and it has to feel like it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I always say, like, I look at like my trainers at the gym and I'm like, I'm so jealous that you guys don't have, you guys saw me in the gym the other night. No, oh gosh, that sounds bad.
We
FaceTime.
Yeah, we had it when we're in the prep. Yeah, people are like, we do prep.
Yeah, that's what happens.
So like, I'm just like, they don't have any, it's not like, oh, you're supposed to get married by a certain time. It's so much, I'm so into like, love is something natural. And the fact that there's a pressure that like, okay, 1920 is a normal time for girls and 21 through 23 is a normal time for guys. Like, I hate that. I hate that there's like this pressure, like, why can't we just all live our lives? And when we fall in love with the right one, that is the right time. Why is it that me and Tommy are like, oh my God, we're going on 21. We're about to be asked by every wedding, by every single person, oh, you're 21. Who can I think of? It's single. Like, no, I live my life. And when I find the right one, that's the right time. You know?
And then there's the expectation that they're going to date for like 2 months or like a month, and you need to know and you need to have an answer.
Exactly. I hate that also.
I think
but by the way, I feel
the
like
human part of dating.
we have this, like, we're from like 5 towns, Brooklyn and Lakewood, I would say probably have it the most. All these in-town places have the pressure the most. Like, people that live in other places, like, you really, when it's a condensed Jewish community, that's when it really hits different.
I think people forget the human part of Lakewood. I mean, sorry.
They do that too. They do that too.
No, I mean, I
do forget that. There is no human part of Lakewood.
Oh my God.
That Cutler tried to
Can we not just explain?
No, people forget how human the dating system is. It's not as systematic as it should be. I mean, it's more system. Can I repeat this whole sentence?
Go for it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We're editing this whole thing out.
Edit this one. Go back. Okay.
Okay. I think people forget the human part of dating instead of, you know. I screwed up the sentence again. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
You're
got it.
on paper.
It's a very systematic.
You're doing it. You're
1,
good.
2, 3. Okay.
Done.
It's a very systematic system, and I think people forget, you know, that it's a little bit. It should be a little bit more humanistic than it is. It's an emotional thing. It's not. We're not here, you know. Like, you know, everybody does. You know.
Well, I think about it like this. I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, it's like, you know, I was talking to my coworkers and we're having a fun conversation. And like, they're like, oh, we went out for like drinks. And they're like, yeah, I met my husband, you know, I was on some vacation in Italy and it's so nice. And the other one's like, yeah, I met my husband and like through a friend of ours at one of his parties. And I'm like, oh, like
That's
the
how
people in our world
meet. Hello.
are like set up with some random, you know, 60-year-old woman who doesn't know, like from a hole in the wall, doesn't know you, doesn't know them. It's like, yeah, we're just going to meet each other.
It's
and
so trippy.
there's no story. It's a different world. It's a different way of doing it.
And for, like, hopefully, I mean, unfortunately, there's a lot of divorces now, but like, it really does, somehow the Shidduch system works for people. And I think it's so trippy how like people could go out for a few weeks and just find the one, like, you don't know him from beans. It's like so crazy. But honestly,
when you're two products of you know, a seminary and the yeshiva,
paper.
It's a very easy thing to do.
Right.
You know, there's kind of like a blueprint set out for you already.
Yeah.
That's why
She
I
went
have
to
like
seminary
my
for a
preference.
year. He went to yeshiva for 3. Great.
Also, the way they
have the
grew
same
up,
values.
like the way they grew up there, and there's like there used to be one hashkafa in Lakewood. Now there are definitely many,
Right.
and that's what it just takes, you know. Like I always mention my Sephardic couple, my friends, the Z's, and yeah, they went out for like 2. They were both 27 maybe when they met, and they were engaged in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Get out.
And my sister was like, I can't do them like sister. I'm like, sister. Like, they are Persian. You know, they do all the Persian things. They go to the same Persian shul. They knew each other already. They just needed 2 weeks to build like a little experience.
Interesting.
And that's it. That's the relatability out over there or wherever. I mean, or also there are some people who just are like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to dedicate my life to this person and we'll figure it out. I don't need this. I don't need that. That's
I'm so not that type. That's way too crazy. This is like a lifelong partner.
Yeah, a whole life. I don't know. I mean, President Trump had a few of those. So like,
Now you're giving me commitment issues.
Commitment.
No, but there's so many. I like realized over the past year that there's so many different ways of dating, and like I'm still figuring out kind of like which way is working for me. But I really think like the smart way to go about it is like, you know, when people set you up, instead of like doing so much research from this paper, from this resume that you're getting, like why don't you hear from word of mouth, like a nice like 15-minute summary about the person, or even 10 minutes. If it sounds relevant, you go on a coffee date for like 2 hours so you're not wasting too much time. And from there, usually people know like if there's anything to discuss, and you could do more research like afterwards. I just think it's such a waste of time. All the like crazy research, like go out, see if there's what to talk about. So that is the way that when I get set up and it's not just meeting someone on my own, I like that's the way I go about it. I tell like people like if you're like that is the way I want to do it.
Yeah, I like that. I like meeting naturally. So like you meet someone naturally, or if you for some reason like want to go ahead and give a chance to someone, like you trust this person. So I'll tell any shotgun I work with, I'll say, you get one free pass.
Oh,
you can set me up with whomever, whatever you want, like any creature from wherever, whatever shtetl. And I'm telling you, like 9.9 times out of 10, I end up calling them saying, you don't know me. I'm probably not going to take anything you say seriously anymore because you set me up with like that weirdo from the Grand Central Parkway with the sign who stands in the middle.
Right.
Like seriously.
Chick-fil-A cow.
Like, hey, he's a catch.
Oh my God.
He's a catch.
She was not. She might have been a catch for
catch.
people around Konkoma, but like not
Before
me.
she went homeless.
Avery, Avery, I think we're gonna head for our closing.
Yeah.
We are, but we also have a lightning
My bed
round.
is calling my name.
Oh, his bed's going.
Oh my God! Yeah,
So,
he's
okay.
like yawning. Can I just say one thing before we close
Yeah.
this?
Oh, please go
I
ahead.
think it's so important.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I just think that we're always told to listen to like our logic and our brain and everything, and there's not enough emphasis on listening to your gut. And I feel like if people would just listen to their gut, they could save themselves from situations so much earlier on than necessary. I had a crazy situation with a guy I went out with last year where if I would have just listened to myself after the 5th date and just listened to my gut, I could have saved myself from almost being engaged to a guy that was emotionally abusive to me.
Whoa.
And I have friends all the time that they tell me, and they say, listen, I'm just feeling like, and I always tell them like, listen to your gut. Don't be guilt tripped that you made a decision. Like take all three into account: your emotions, your gut, and your logic. And I think that gut is so equal to.
Well, that depends how
logic.
reliable source of information your gut is.
I think
but
to
for
every
most people, I
person.
think that
Yeah, I really think when you have a gut feeling and you're like, oh, and like you can't eat and all that, like that's like something to listen to. You shouldn't
That's
just hide
definitely-
Gut, emotions,
So that would
and
be
logic.
my like finishing statement.
I love that. Hello,
Yeah.
gut.
Take notes, everybody.
GEL. Gel.
gel.
Remember gel.
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 mail.
Every date I go on, ladies, there's gel in here. Okay. You know what I'm
Don't
talking
share your
about.
secret.
Hey, I put a little spritz of lime in whatever. That's my secret. But,
Avery's
gut,
like, hey,
emotion,
let's
logic.
go. I'm going to bed already. Come on, let's wrap
It's
up.
No,
terrible.
it's
No,
okay.
you
First
can
of all, he
continue.
goes to
I'm
bed.
I'm like an early sleeper, so it's tough.
No,
It's tough for the late
not.
night.
We're at
podcast.
we're over an hour. We're over an
Hey,
hour.
but that really flew.
Do you want? You could say more. Go ahead.
Yeah, continue.
I feel like
Literally.
there's so much more. So
Continue.
many more
Yeah.
How is it-
questions
first of
we
all-
There was
can
even
touch
a thing that we discussed of like the question of what's a very smart way of telling a shadchan like what you're looking for. So this lady, she's an unofficial shadchan in Lakewood. She's amazing.
What makes her unofficial?
I know. By the way, you know
like,
when
I'm
they say
unofficial.
unofficial, they're totally a shadchan.
They're the worst,
But I
yeah.
love her. She's such a cutie. It really is her side job. And she one time was like, the way I'm gonna find out what your type is send me the resume of the guy you went out with that's closest to your type.
Oh, it's not bad.
Isn't that smart?
It's
And,
smart. I
was
like
that's
that. I
so
never heard that
Interesting.
question. I like that.
Right?
But sometimes it could be off. You
Well,
know?
if they are going to look into that guy properly, then you'll get an idea of my
Oh,
type. But
interesting,
it happens to be
interesting.
I'm pretty like self-aware, and I have like I'm good at explaining myself and what I need.
Mm,
So that's not something that I would.
It also
struggle
sounds
with,
like she got to know you too, so that
Right.
helps.
Yeah,
That helps.
that
like,
definitely
they
helps.
actually
Yeah. Yeah.
at the start, you have to teach shadchanim how to like do their jobs, but yeah,
Right.
get to know the person you're dealing with.
too.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's not your regular Mrs.
I like
Lakewood
that. I like that.
talk.
Yeah.
She's just trying to set you up with the first.
But the reason why, by the way, like probably I really hope to never have to get into the stage where I have to talk to like so many shadchana because like if you don't come from a Baal Batish family and Lakewood, like it's much harder with the whole being on paper thing. Like I just find that people always when they look at me and they get their first impression of me, they think I come from like perfect family and like from Brooklyn and this. They get a whole vision of me, and then they get my resume and it's like, oh, maybe that guy that I was gonna read you to like maybe it's not such a good idea after all. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
hate that for myself.
Not
Like,
such a good.
Yeah, but you'll meet
idea
someone
at
who
all.
just
That's
you'll
like
find
my
someone
whole
who
life.
fits your dynamic,
Right,
and
so
it's
I
hard
have
to.
faith that that's what's
yeah,
gonna happen. But that is
That'll
why,
be-
like, also, like,
will
I know if I
happen.
go to, like, whatever, it's frustrating. So,
Yeah, it's difficult, but like
but I would never
You have to
survive in a
have
Balabatish family, so I'm
No.
very fine with,
That's the
my
thing.
situation.
Especially with
Right.
the being a little bit Hasidish thing. People don't
Yeah.
really get the differences.
right.
Like I said earlier.
Well, Hushkaf, yeah, explaining your your
Yeah.
real Hushkafic orientation, right? Because it sounds like you're probably identify a little bit more with like being modern Orthodox, modern Yeshivish, but you have this whole Hasidish side to you, right? I'm saying just in your case, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in my case, I'm like at this Lubavitch side.
He has a Gartel guy.
Yes.
No, it's a true story. I went.
There's
to,
definitely a side in
Ba-
your case.
Bayala
You have-
Rebbe.
there is a side. I don't know what the
Biala Rebbe. Went to the Biala Rebbe. I was Shlomi
Yeah.
Kaufman was there. we were Shlomi Kaufman, the singer. He's like the Morty Shapiro of Connecticut.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So
we
he has
are
a total of
obsessed
5
with Mordechai Shapiro.
So, but this is the Morty Shapiro of Connecticut.
Got you.
Right.
So basically, anyway, yeah. So I chilled with him, and the Rebbe on the way out gave me this gartel. So it's
Wow.
Nice. We're gonna head to the lightning round and then the closing. Okay, so we're gonna be right back after this.
Are you on Shidduch date burnout? Getting some anxiety or just need someone to talk to about all those DMs and WhatsApps? Ahuva Shandelman is a licensed psychotherapist and the founder of Holy Shid. She treats clients with care, empathy, and a ton of shid. Ahuva can be reached anywhere, as she treats clients virtually and is also based in Rockland County for office hours. She can be contacted if you're interested via email, ahuvashandelman@gmail.com, or DM her on Insta @holy_shid. IJ and Avery love her. You will too.
Ladies, okay, we're back, and we're going to be doing the exciting, best part about our podcast, the lightning round. You're going to get about 5 seconds to respond here. Avery, 5 seconds. You know how to play. And we're going to basically go with the premise of Lake Yeah or Lake Blah. Okay, so Lake Yeah is like, I like this, I'll go out with him or her. And Lake Blah is like, no, I'm not going to go out. Not happening. Okay. So we're going to start. Tommy, we're going to start by you. Go this way. His profession is a country nursing home singer where he tours the entire South.
Like, yeah.
Nice.
That sounds dope.
Ooh.
Lake,
Very open-minded.
Right away. Okay, Michal, go.
Oh, me? Oh, no.
Wait, there's no
Lake.
no.
Oh, Lake Blah.
Yeah, Lake Blah.
Lake Blah.
Lake Blah. Okay. Avery, her profession?
Her profession, is that what she does? She's
Yes.
a country singer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For nursing homes only.
For nursing homes. Oh, for nursing homes.
Yes.
I was not aware of the nursing home.
Yeah, that's
part.
what.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
Yes. She
I
should.
was so
Michal.
clear.
Okay, yeah, you missed that. Yeah, right. That's a lake, yeah. I think
To all those out there.
I think she'll steal a lot of old people's money and then
If that's her
and
profession,
sing very well.
If that's her profession,
That's
so for me, I'm actually going to jump in on this
Yeah,
one.
go
So
for it.
wait a second. So I get free like mashed potatoes, peas, carrots. Like we can get to
Peas.
tour the country. Lake, yeah. Okay, Lake, yeah. All right. Okay, Tommy. His mom wears the black hat.
Like, yeah, that's kind of trendy.
There's a black her mom.
Right.
her mom
By the
wears a
way, it
black
doesn't
hat.
have to be a real black
Yeah.
hat. It could be
Are
actually
you
like
saying
a
in the
hat.
sense of like she wears the pants
She
in the relationship?
wears
4, 3, 2.
Blah.
Oh, black. No, forget it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
doesn't
what that
sound
meant to you.
attractive.
Okay.
no?
Avery.
Yeah, as long as the dad doesn't wear a black hat. We're
Okay,
good.
right. One of them has to have to
At least they don't wear it. At least they don't put it on
Oh
as
my
soon as
God.
the daughter starts dating again. That's a red flag right there, people.
I
Keep
love that.
Keep that in your mind.
Okay, so okay, Michal.
back.
He said Tommy. He sets the Shabbos table, but it's always in pink. It's weird. I don't know, like
A little gayish.
yeah, right. That's what I'm
It's a little
saying.
fruity, but I
mean, I love
I don't
that,
think
you
I'd
know.
have too much of a
But
problem.
you'd probably
with
be
it.
happy if he just sets it. Just
Yeah,
just
as long
gives
as
you,
someone's
like,
doing
some
it, then I
worth.
don't
Right?
mind.
Yeah.
So was that a Lake Yeah or a
Yeah,
Lake
that's
Blah?
a like, yeah.
Lake Yeah,
Hearts in the eyes emoji. Yes.
Lake Yeah. Avery. She
Yeah.
sets it in pink. What do you care? She said it. Okay. What do you care? That's
For a
a-
she, that's less gay. Come on, that's not gay.
That's
I don't know.
That's
I
like
don't
that's
know.
perfect.
For her to
Yeah,
do
that's-
it, I don't
that's-
know.
that's
Okay, then
something
you're
I
gonna
can
have
It
to
get
needs to
do
be
it.
white. I need it to be
White
exactly
and
what.
gold.
Yeah, in the Heimish world.
or black and silver.
Okay,
Black
fine.
silver.
Anyway,
maybe.
okay. Michal, we'll go with you for this one.
right.
His
Go for it.
job is a male modest Instagram model. Go.
Yeah.
She's
We'll relate to
in.
each other.
She's in. She's in.
I'm gonna
Tommy.
go with a big Lake Blah.
Lake Blah.
Oh my
Lake
God, we're
yeah.
so
Avery.
She's an Instagram model.
She.
No
way.
Not for me.
So-
I can't
Nice.
relate.
Hashtag vibe.
All right. Well, I've
Can't
dated a
relate.
few
No,
of them.
you have
so.
to answer.
Oh,
You
heck,
definitely.
hell yeah.
Oh, yes.
I've dated a few.
Fist.
You know who you are. And the last one, his resume is in Chinese, but he went to BMG.
Like, yeah. that shows a little bit of culture.
Oh, wow.
Culture. Oh, I like that. Like he went through the system, but
But he knows fluent
Someone asked me if I was Chinese today, actually. She's like, you're so skinny. Are you Chinese?
No
I'm
way.
like, what's the correlation? I'm not sure.
because the correlation was that
Well,
you're
Chinese
skinny,
people are skinny.
right? That
Chinese
makes
people are
sense.
skinny. Wow.
It's like an Asian figure.
I can't.
I'm a
remember that.
blah.
have.
No, sounds too, like, weird.
What was it? I missed
Blah.
it.
Her resume's in
think a little out
Chinese.
of the
Her
box.
resume
but
is in
she went to Sarah Schneer.
Her resume's in Chinese, but she went to Sarah Schneer.
Yes.
Good. Yeah. That's a yeah.
Yeah, that's a yeah. Okay.
No,
Yeah, I like the cultural.
Avery Shotland, yes.
I like the change.
Okay,
I'm judging you
Translate.
hardcore.
I like it. I like Asian people.
Okay,
we get
that was
along.
awesome.
We get
We're
along.
going to head to our closing, and we'll be done soon, okay? Hey, everybody, it's IJ from the Nobody Talks Shidduch podcast. I want to take a moment to tell you about our new affiliate program. Inflation's up, some economic problems. Here you go. Here's a few bucks off on your businesses or personal life or just for fun. I wanted you to take a look at shidduchpodcast.com under affiliates, where you can get 10% off for starting your first website, a few bucks for your graphics created with Canva, or just hire someone to do this with Fiverr. Check this out at shidduchpodcast.com and click the affiliates link. Okay, Avery, Michal, Tami, oh my God, thank you so much for coming. I had a really fun time.
Thanks
for coming.
Okay,
Yep.
make sure you take the goodie bags on the way out. This has been, another episode 59, Lakewood Gals Talk. There you go, I did it.
You got it
Talk.
right.
Talk.
Finally.
Talk at the
That
t-shirts.
is
The
the
camera's dead.
pause.
Thank you for coming. I think we
Yes.
covered a lot of ground here. And Avery, any goodbye wishes?
Yeah, thanks for coming. Good luck on the drive back. Lakewood's
thanks.
Oh,
far.
thank you.
Yeah.
Tommy, you'll
You'll be
drive.
good. You'll be good.
Drink a lot of coffee. Yeah.
Just
Any-
don't take any of my sleep aid pills, and you'll be fine.
Okay, we're just taking a few shots if that's okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. Well, what's your
Don't tell
the
them.
license plate again? We're gonna put in. Anything you wanted to say to the audience before you go?
Hopefully you don't judge us as harshly now.
Yeah.
We're
I
normal. There are normal people.
I
in
hope I
Lakewood.
still
Ooh.
find my bashar out there after this podcast.
You will. You will. We're confident.
I also want to say sorry about that off the derech joke.
That was so mean.
Oh yeah.
No,
oh, and
how
I
dare you? That was so
and I
offensive.
want to
I know.
apologize for my politically incorrect sense of humor. No, I'm kidding. Get out of here. Okay, people, like I usually end off, happy face, smiley face, silly face. This is a Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.
Ouchie's Media Network.